Yo, what's good, everybody?
What's up, y'all?
Welcome back to another episode of the Straight Up and R&D podcast, where we give it to you real, raw, and uncut.
Already
opinions based on what?
Facts.
Facts. Facts. This is episode 11. I'm your host, Rich.
I'm D.
And we're gonna get right into it.
We're gonna get right into it, man.
I do want to say I did fuck up on the intro and say I didn't give a fuck about y'all feelings. You know? But y'all should already know about.
Yeah.
Y'all should already know that. Like,
We episode 11 episodes
Episode
in.
11, man. Y'all know the schlingo.
You already know how it goes. Thanks for the support also, though. You know, we getting our views up. Subscribers going up a little bit. You know, our shorts, so doing some numbers, so.
Oh, yeah. Check out the shorts. Some
Yeah.
good-ass topics up in there.
Yeah. So, thanks for the support. You know, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and
Yeah.
we can get into it.
Yeah, so first topic of the day. Yo, some women got the gall, yo. They got the gall. I'm telling you, they got the fucking gall. So there was a woman with 7 kids. Yes, that's right. I said 7 kids.
7 kids.
And she's still out here, you know, trying to find a man. And hey,
Bro, let me give a little bit of background.
Just give some background to it.
So
It's crazy.
The video explained. It looked like they on some type of talk show or some shit. I don't know. They on some type of maybe like one of them Dr. Phil, Steve Harvey type shits. You know, looking for relationship advice. You know what I'm saying? So she stands up in the crowd and like, hey, I got a question. She's a 30-something-year-old woman with 7 kids. Can she find love again? And they asked, like, is it with the same man? She said, yeah, 7 kids with 1 man. But she wants to know, can she find love again and find somebody else, you know, to support her and her 7 kids? I was like, fuck no. Fuck no. Because, bro, it's like, what we got to stop doing as a society is putting false hope into some of these women. Some of these men, too. But for this case, we got to stop putting false hope in some of these women. What man? Not saying there ain't a man out there. Like, if you in a room with 1,000 men, you might have 1 or 2 that might say, hey, I'll support you and your 7 kids. But what are the chances of you find a man, bro, that said, yeah, I got no kids. I'm going to support you and your 7 of kids and me. So I'm going to just automatically hop in and support a family of 9. Who's going to do that? And why y'all telling her that she will? Be realistic with her.
There's no hope for you. I'm telling you right now, like, there's just no hope. And I was talking to somebody about this one, and it's like, you decide to sleep. Oh, by the way, all 7 kids is from the same baby father.
I give her that.
So she got some points for that one. However, it's still 7 kids.
7 is 7, bro.
All right? It's not 2. It's not 3. It's not even 5. It's 7.
Bro.
Oh, very important. She's only 33 years old.
Yeah.
She's only 33 years old.
So her 20s, she was just pregnant every year?
That's ridiculous. That's a new baby almost every year or every other year.
God damn. So, and my thing is, though, it's like, I think a simple solution for her is just get back with the father.
No, a simple solution is just to collect that check, child support check, and just,
oh my God,
you know, get the government assistance at that point. That's what you can do. Like, I don't mind my taxpayer money going to that. Like, she definitely need the help. Like, she need the help. Like, I'm gonna be real. Is no sensible man on this planet unless he's a millionaire, and even if he is, he's not gonna be going for a woman like her to begin with. Nobody's taking on that responsibility.
That's a big financial responsibility.
I don't want to sound pessimistic, but I'm gonna be pessimistic.
Yeah.
You're not finding somebody.
No. And I'm like, they should have been real with her on the show. It's like, is it possible? Anything's fucking possible.
Winning the lotto was possible.
Yeah, it's possible. But how likely is it? Like, bro, majority of the men that you're gonna walk up to and meet, the moment you say 7 kids, they're like, oh yeah, this ain't working. This ain't working. They're not gonna take you seriously. And I think the thing about it too, one may be a little worse. Like, say for instance, you meet a man with a kid, right? Say if he got 1 or 2 kids, and you say you got 7. Bro, how the hell?
How is that going to work? How is that going to, like, be realistic? Like, that's just not going to work. She should have felt ashamed to even say that on the airwaves. Bro, that should not be on the internet.
That should not be on the internet at all.
Oh my gosh. That should not be on the damn internet.
I really do think her best bet, rekindling with the baby father, bro. Like, because that's his kids. So he'll like, hey, we'll find a way.
Shit, who knows? She probably rekindled it 5 other times, and then 5 babies came out. Like. But I was talking to somebody about this, and it's you had 7 kids with the person. Now, what does that say about that woman? What does it say about her? Let's put we'll get to the guy in a moment. What does it say about that type of woman? That you either wasn't responsible enough to know, hey, am I able to take care of all of these kids? That's number 1. Number 2, was the relationship toxic? Because for you to lay with someone 7 times, well, it's not 7 times, but to have 7 kids by the same person and then be out here looking for another man and you're only 33.
Yeah, how does that work?
Like, that relationship must have been crazy toxic. You must have been like off and on, having sex and not caring what happens. Must have been thinking in your head, oh, I'll just get child support. Must have, there's a lot of things I can speculate on. I don't have all that information, but one can make the assumptions on how something like that can unfold.
Yeah, because, bro, I don't see, like, how you have 7 kids with somebody and it don't work out. I mean, like, yeah, shit can happen for it to not work out, but how you lay down with somebody multiple times, have their children multiple times, and you looking for somebody to come and support you and your kids. That man should be the love you're looking for.
Exactly.
So what happened in that relationship for y'all to say, you know what, we have 7 kids together, but we're going to split up? Now, it might be...
Like, after the second child, you should know, like, definitively, this is not the man for me. Or this relationship is not going to work. Why would you have another 5, 6 more kids?
I'm thinking, like, was he feeding her bullshit? Like, yeah, baby, we going to do this, that. Or, like, who was feeding who bullshit, bro? And now you looking for a man to come in and support. And I started to think, I was like, oh, the kids split up? Like, there was no way.
Yeah, who are the kids living with?
I'm like, there's no way she's living with all 7 of these kids, bro. I'm like, there is no way, but it's possible she is.
It's possible.
But I'm like, is she living with all 7? I guess on the video, it seems like she's staying with all 7 kids. Like, all 7 kids are staying with her, I mean.
Yeah, she made it seem that way.
Yeah,
because she said, I have 7 kids. Like, she made it seem like she's the one that's
she's a package deal.
Yeah.
So, like, if that's the case, like, first of all, how you find a babysitter even come on this goddamn show? And, like, what do you... I don't know what you would really expect the man to do. And the thing about it, too, like, she has to find a guy who's, like, financially stable enough to support that, right? But I'm thinking, if I'm that man with so much money that I can't support you and your 7 kids... why would I settle down for that? And, like, how are you even going to be able to, like, go on dates and vacation? How are you going to be able to just do that type of shit? Because before you do anything, you got to worry about
your kids.
All those kids.
And it's not just 1, and it's not just 2, it's 7.
Yeah, man. Like,
I mean, maybe it was... she had twins, that could be a possibility, right? Like you can't control that, right? You
Yeah,
could have had
if it's
twins, right? You could have been octo mom, have 8 kids at one time. Like you could have been that, but you know, based on what we were hearing, what we saw in the video, that wasn't the case. But she's got to be, she has to be more responsible than that, and her focus should not be looking for another man, because another man is not going to want to come and take care of 7 kids at that age, 33. Definitely a younger guy is not going to look for you.
The younger guy, definitely not. You got to look for an older guy.
So older guy is most likely your range, probably late 30s, early 40s, right? Given that too, that guy, like you said, may have some kids himself. Who's going to want more of a burden in their life?
What kind of house you got to buy? You got to buy a big ass house, bro. You got to have to like possibly get a mansion. To hold
all of that, like, what is the financial breakdown gonna look like? You gotta buy 100 boxes of Pampers, like you're gonna have 7 kids going to college, like,
oh my god,
how does that even? How can you even put that together? Like,
I don't know.
That just doesn't work,
bro. Like, I'll be like, yo, some of your kids gotta get scholarships. I got money for possibly 2, maybe 3 for college.
Hey, they better go in the NBA, NFL, whatever sport, and
somebody better pop off of Instagram. Like,
yeah, whatever they want to do on Instagram. You can't object to anything, because I know she ain't got the money for that. Because if she had the money, she would be looking for no man.
Yeah, bro, and that's a good point too. Like, should her focus even be looking for a man at this point? Like, I feel like, look, if you and the father didn't work out, just focus on raising your kids, man. Like, and look for love at a later point, because like that's a lot of kids to focus on.
Yeah.
If you're in a relationship, it's easy to like, and I guess that's the mother's responsibility to like put her kids first. But like, if you find a guy and fall in love, it's easy to kind of lose focus on like raising those kids. And then that's how mistakes happens in their life, because you're so focused on La La Land. And these kids out here doing a lot. It's going, bro. I could think in a 2-parent household, it's still hard to like focus on all 7 kids. But now if you're a single mom, you're dating a dude, and you probably going back and forth to his house, he coming back and forth to your house. Like, it eventually is going to get in away from you being a mother to all 7 kids. So.
Right, and each kid is gonna need their own individual like
attention.
Attention, yeah, they're gonna need their individual attention, and you can't do that with 7. Not only that, think about it. You got to focus on, I hope she's working.
That's right? Another thing.
That's if she's, I don't even know how you could work with 7 kids. Like, that right there would be a super mom. Like,
yeah.
That's crazy. So if she's working, you got to focus on your career, because you have bills to pay. Mm-hmm. You got to focus, if you do get a man, let's say there is some simp out there that's gonna take on that challenge, right? You gotta focus on the relationship with him, because you still you can't just say, oh, I only want you so you can take care of my kids. Like, that's not gonna work.
I feel like a woman in that position, she's literally, I don't think love is even the first.
Yeah, that's not even the first thing on her mind. But, you got to work on that. And then you got to individually focus on each of those 7 kids. We don't know. I'm assuming your last one obviously is the youngest one, and it's probably an infant.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Probably. Like, there's too much things going on, and there's just no way you can focus on that. You have to go back, like you said, and rekindle something with the biological father of all 7 kids. You're stuck. You're stuck. Play the lotto, do like some of these girls on Instagram, try to clout chase and get somewhere, because all of that ain't no logical human being
man
gonna say, yeah, let me just run with this girl. And even if a guy does, and let's say the guy doesn't have any kids, it's gonna be pretty likely that he's gonna want kids of his own.
Are you willing to push out an 8th kid?
What if he wants 2?
Yeah.
like when does it
Yo,
stop?
this is getting crazy. Like,
And she's only 33, so she can still have more.
She could still have more.
Right?
She got a few years on her.
She still got a couple years on her, and
no, that is a good point. Like, what if you meet a man with no kids who's willing to take you and your 7 on, and he wants a kid of his own eventually? Like, do you say like, hey, I don't want no more kids? Is that even fair to him?
And in last episode, we talked about the whole biological father and stepfather stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So how does the biological father gonna feel about that?
Bro, I'm gonna forget some of them niggas' names, bro. Like,
That's crazy.
There's no way, like, you gonna form like, oh yeah, that's Tasha. Oh, that's Simon over there. I'm like, shit, which one's Simon again? You know what I mean? Like, that's
oh man,
that's a lot, bro. That's a lot. But yeah, man. Like, I don't know what she's going to do.
She's got to be more responsible than that.
Yeah, but I asked you this off air. Like, what's the cap number? If you going looking for a stepfather, if a man's willing to come in and take care of your kids, like, what's the absolute, amount of kids that a woman maybe could have to look for love? I guess what I'm saying is, like, what's the amount of kids that a woman can have to realistically look for love?
All right. I can give you my answer on what I would accept. At my current age, I would say one.
One. Okay.
One. But it all depends on the age. So
the age of the kid.
The age of the kid and the age of the woman as well.
Okay.
So if the woman is in her 40s and she has 2 kids or maybe 3 kids, that's understandable. Because by that time, those kids are probably in college or, they're already in the workforce. They're already grown adults, depending on what age she had them. Obviously, if she had the kid, like, she's like, let's say she's 45 and she had it when she was 42. Like, that's too close because that's a newborn.
Yeah.
Right? But if she had them when she was in her 20s or her early 30s, that's kind of different. Because the kids are much older, it's less, responsibilities in terms of taking care of them. Mm-hmm. Right? But for me, I'd say it's one. And anything more than that is an obvious no-go because I definitely don't want to deal with that. And also the child's age. If it's an infant, then yeah, that's definitely a no-go.
Definitely should not be looking for love if you got an infant baby.
Definitely should not be looking for love if you got an infant baby at that moment. Like everybody deserves to be loved. Even the woman with 7 kids.
Yeah.
Everybody does. But you can't be looking for love when you just had a baby.
Yeah, that should not be
that
on your
is
mind.
not priority at that moment. Like, you got another 5, 6, 7 years until you start really, okay, I'm gonna go back out in the dating world and I'm gonna find me a man and that stuff. Cause your child is supposed to be number one. But I know the older you get, the more likely people are gonna have kids.
Yeah, no, that's just the reality. You're gonna have to accept it at some point.
So what do you think? What's your number?
Fuck. 1 is always the ideal number, but it gotta be 2, bro. It gotta be 2. If you accept the one with 3, she gotta be like ultra bad, or she gotta be like a real ride or die type. But 3 is a lot, bro. Because like 3 is a lot. I think it gotta be 2.
I see 2, but
personally it'll be 1.
I can't do 2.
2 is a lot.
All right, 2 at what age though? Should be 27 with 2.
If you have 27 with 2, one of them's gonna be young. One of them's gonna be young. Cause that's a tough question. That's a tough question.
And
That's
man,
a tough
the age
question.
matters. The
age
age,
definitely
like
matters.
the age of the woman with the number of kids that she has matters, because that tells the story. That's like, okay, you just had these kids, or unless she was young and had all these kids, but that's another topic for another day. But
Yeah.
I mean, they gotta look. These females need to do better with this baby situation, and look, I know. Look, shit happens in relationships. People break up. People, have kids, and then they find out it's not gonna work. Look, it happens. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, that happens.
I'm not shunning no woman that's in that predicament. But
7 is just crazy.
7 is wild. That's
And
wild.
I even thought about this too. Like when you're with somebody, I don't know if she was married or like just in a simple relationship, but if you're having kids with somebody, I feel like you should discuss the number that you're comfortable with. In case y'all don't work out, I can take care of these kids with no problem, and I could like move on with my life.
But that's too much of a mature conversation to have. People, it's too logical. People don't do that.
You know what I mean? Because it's like
logical.
I'm like, at no point did you think saying like, all right, 7 might be is too much in case we don't work out. Because bro, think about that, bro. And and I think when you have these conversations with some people, they get too over emotional. Oh, are you saying we're not going to work out? We're going to be together forever? That's the perfect world, but bro, tomorrow's a new day. Next year's a new year.
And shit happens.
You may find a man boring one day. You may find a woman boring one day. So, or sometimes relationships sometimes just phase out. That's just out of your control sometimes. Mm-hmm. And now, in case y'all phased out, how are you going to take care of so many kids? I really feel like whatever partner you're with, you should have a discussion of like, okay, how many kids are we going to have? Even if you don't want to, put breakup into it, you should discuss like, hey, I think we should probably have like 2, 3 kids. Like just the amount of kids that you guys are comfortable having. That is just not.
Well, definitely. Sometimes like when you going into a relationship, you're dating or whatever, or trying to get to know somebody, or you're taking them serious, there's going to be a day where that conversation comes up. You say, well, how many kids do you see yourself having, or how much kids would you want? Some say 1, 2, or 3, but that's definitely something you should ask somebody when you're in the middle of dating. Now, in this woman's case,
you can't mistakenly have 7 kids.
You can't. It can't be a mistake. Like you can't just say, "Oh, wow, we just had 7." Like I'm telling you, after the first 2, it should have been clean cut and clear that this is not the right guy. Like, is this the guy for me or not? It shouldn't be number 7, and then now you trying to, oh yeah, he's not the right one.
He forgot to pull out.
Like, come on. And look, we talk about woman's choice. Every woman has the right to her own body.
Right.
It's obvious this woman doesn't believe in abortion.
Yeah.
That's obvious. However, she still had that choice.
Other choices that was on the table also, vasectomy. She could have got her tubes tied.
Adoption.
Plan B. You know what I mean?
Like, there's so many other options. But to willingly bring in 7 kids, right? Whatever your opinion is on abortion and all that other stuff, you still had many other options. But she chose to have 7.
And that's fine.
That's fine.
If you want to bring in 7 and support 7, that's fine. Like, nobody's like crushing you for it, but it's...
But don't be surprised if no man wants to be with you because you have 7 kids. That's all I gotta say. Don't be surprised.
Because now you have 7 kids, you want to follow them and work out, and now you're going on these TV shows asking, can you still have a shot at love? Like, Now you just look a little goofy to me, bro. Like,
yeah, game over. It's fourth quarter. You lost by like 50 points.
yeah, no
just,
comebacks.
That's it.
Definitely no comebacks.
So I want to talk about like what does it like from the man's perspective, like the man, the biological father of those kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what can we say about him? What we done bashed the women already. I mean, hey, shit happens and we know that. Now we got to bash the guy because he can't be having 7 kids with a woman and not still be with that woman.
Now, what I want to say about him, men, we're supposed to be more logical thinkers which is why we have the title head of household. We are supposed to be the one that's more grounded and not think with our emotions. Women tend to think with their emotions sometimes. I'm not bashing women. It's just, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So that's why you have a man and woman coming together. He might help ground you a little bit like, hey, I think this is the route we should go. And, you have a conversation. But for this man to not think at some point, all right, maybe it's not a good idea to have so many kids. If our relationship is kind of rocky, if y'all not fully committed to each other, again, we don't really know if they were married or not. But if you guys had any thoughts, because he was like only 33.
33.
So like, again, I don't know how long they were together. I don't know if they're high school sweethearts. I don't know. But like 33 is still young. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's like at some point I'm thinking that he was saying like, hey, we might not work out. Why still lay with this woman and impregnate her so many times knowing that shit could hit the wall? You know what I mean? Like what? Like
he was being irresponsible.
He was being incredibly irresponsible. For instance, bro, the fact that I said, I laid out the question, how many kids, a couple should be comfortable having in case they split. He should have thought of the same thing. Like, why have 7? Like, I don't know his pockets, but can you financially support those 7? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what the hell was going on in a relationship. They just out here just sleeping with each other and I think of no consequences. Because even for him now, like, you meet a girl and she said, how many kids you got? 7. I guess it's a little easier for guys because the majority of the time the kids are living with the mom. Mm-hmm. But what if a woman say, like, bro, I don't want to deal with that. She has every right to say, I don't want to deal with your 7 kids.
Yep.
And then if she has no kids, she's going to, like, I feel like if she has no kids, even though it is one baby mom, she might say, like, do I want to be the second baby mom to this guy? You know what I mean? Like, and have his 8th child. Like, obviously, having kids is really nothing to him. Like, he just thinking some type of sport. Like, is he going to, I think she want to think, like, hey, is he going to be as committed to me? Or, like, will he be as involved with this kid? Because, you know what I mean? Like,
I get child? That. An 8th child. That's a big thing because now that I'm thinking about it even more, that guy definitely manipulated her. He had to have manipulated.
He played on her emotions, bro. I think he really played on her emotions.
And I'm sure he's older than her. Because to be 33 with 7, that means you must have been dating a guy that must have been in his 30s when you was in your 20s. He's got to be older.
Yeah.
Like, it's possible they could have been the same age or whatever, but, like, he had to have manipulated this woman to make her believe, oh, he's going to take care of her, he's going to take care of the kids, and then it doesn't happen, or they break up, they get back together, then they break up again, and she's, like, going through the back and forth because it all, manipulating is a strong thing. It's hard for some people to get out of that. Like, there's
because
toxic.
She's probably in love.
She's in love. She's making dumb decisions, and it's a lot of psychological things that happen. Like, there's toxic relationships out there that people know the relationship is bad, but they still stay in it.
They still stay in it, man. And I'm thinking, like, she's in love with this guy. He's making all these false promises, and she's like, all right, I'm gonna keep all of your kids, and boom, he left. And now she's in a position of, like, Because 33 is still young, bro. Because, like, 33, you still thinking of,
No,
like, you want a
33 is
shot at
still young.
love.
Yeah, no, 33 is still young.
So now she's like, I'm 33 with 7 kids. I have a lot of life in me. You don't want to go through all of your life without having a partner by your side again. Mm-hmm. So, like, of course, it's going to go through her head of, like, damn, like, will somebody come and, you know, stay by my side with my 7? In all likelihood, no. Like, all is no. And I'm very disappointed in that, man. Some guys are just stupid and just think with their dick. I guess the box was really that good. And he just like, I ain't never pulling out.
Or, you know,
bro,
she just, but then she should have known, like, yo, like, if we're not having another kid, if we're not together or like committed to each other, or, you know, like, it takes 2 to have a child, right? Like,
nobody had this conversation.
Like,
after kid 3,
after kid number 3, like, you should have been like, yo, like, this is it. Like, we together, we're not, you know, she's got to have some ways to hold him super responsible. Like, you can't be this age and playing this game. Like, this is wild. At this point, you might as well just say, fuck it. Like, I'll just have X amount of kids and just the baby fathers just take care of them. I don't take care of them. I do whatever I want. Like, you at that age, you at that place now where it's like, do it. Just, you can't look for love at this. That's my bottom line. You can't look for love right now.
You know what's crazy? I had a conversation with somebody. He's married and he got 2 kids, right? He said him and his wife were thinking about having a 3rd kid, but they really don't know. They're struggling to decide because he like, listen, when you got a 3rd kid, it's a different house, a different car. It's just a whole different lifestyle in itself. So they're thinking like, hey, do we want to like carry the trouble of bringing a 3rd kid in this world? Because they're going to have to change so much about their life to support a 3rd child. Mm-hmm. So, like, if he having that conversation with his wife about kid number 3, and if life looks like that with kid number 3, what the hell life looks like with kid 7?
Not even 6 or
like,
5.
Bro, what, you got like a goddamn construction van at this point driving around with all these kids, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why he didn't have, or why they didn't have that serious ass conversation of like, all right, we got 2. Are we sure we want to do number 3?
Absolutely irresponsible. Absolutely irresponsible.
So now they're gonna have to just live with this, man. Like, listen, y'all should just get back together. And, you know, unfortunately, it is a little bit easier for the man to find
another woman.
Because if the kids are living with the mom, he out here could just do what he wants. He could travel where he want to
go wherever, have more kids.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he could find some other woman to get pregnant,
and then leave her, and then go find another one. Like, there's dudes I remember was watching like Judge Mathis or one of those things, and man got 16 kids. I mean, all different baby moms, and the judge is like,
snip yourself after a while.
He's like, yo, like, it shows that he's being irresponsible. Like, you can't be running around and just having all these kids and not take care of them. He's on child support for all of them. This man has no money, and
he got no money
in court owing someone else money. That person's not getting it. They're not getting the money. Okay, this guy's definitely in debt. I mean, he just doesn't look like an astute guy. Let's say that. Yeah. And he's in court owing money. You think he even remembers all 16 kids' names? No.
Hell fucking no. Bro, I remember I was talking to somebody and I didn't even know he had kids. He was just like, yeah, my daughter, man, she out here being fast and, you know, I got to talk to her, but I just don't got the time to see her much these days. And I'm like, how many kids you got? He was like, 10, 11.
Oh my gosh, you had to sit. Oh my
12.
Goodness.
He started counting. I'm like, holy fucking. I'm like, God damn, bro. Like, you don't even know how many kids you got that you got to sit there and think for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's really some men out here like that, man. And that think sex is a game. Like, yeah, everybody's been young, you know, having sex, but having sex or whatever, but for you to just raw dog it like that with so many different baby moms and you gotta like think about how many kids you got.
Absolutely, just embarrassing. Like you're like you are. That's the definition of like a dog. Like you're just being a dog. You just don't care. You just do whatever you want. And as a man, you're supposed to know that every child you have is your responsibility. You helped brought another child in this world, and you lay with somebody. You gotta know, hey, if you're not ready to have kids, you gotta let them know I'm not ready to have kids. You strap it up, even though that's not 100%, or
Try to be responsible.
You try to be responsible at the end of the day. I don't understand this. And for the woman too, she has to be responsibility on both sides. Responsibility. Now, I don't know how those kids are gonna grow up, but to have 7 kids in a household,
the
how
thing.
How does that work?
The thing I always think about too, man. Like, we both come from Caribbean culture. I always say, I ain't gonna hold you. I always say like some of the Caribbean men ain't nothing because it's too common when I talk to them. You know what I mean? Like, and they be like, yeah, I got a kid in Barbados. I got a kid in, over here. You know what I mean? And I'd be like, okay, you're in the States and you have a kid here. Obviously, that kid is going to say, oh, you're the greatest father in the world because you're giving me so much attention and you're not going to have a bad thing to say, but it's impossible to give attention to so many other kids. If you have 7 kids as a father, how can you give the right amount of attention to all of them? Some kids are going to say, my father wasn't anything. Oh, my father didn't pay me enough attention. But you're going to have one kid that's probably your favorite, 1 or 2, that's going to say, yeah, I have the best dad in the world. Like, you're creating problems for these kids by having so many, which is why I wholeheartedly discussed it with Nick Cannon. Bro, you're having kids with so many different women all across the country. Yeah, you could fly them out, spend time with them, call them for their birthdays, but there's going to be so many days they're just wondering, like, I'm not having that father-son, father-daughter time on a daily basis.
And they're, as a man, you're missing out on the development and the growth of the child because you can't be with all of them at the same time. Especially if they're all from different women.
My man, this 2-parent households, men in 2-parent households, who struggle to find time to spend with their kids because they focus on their career, and they live with the child.
Yeah.
He's a busy guy. And you don't live with your kids, and they're all across the country. All across the country. How are you finding time to even, be with all of them at once? Like he probably, live near 1 kid or 2. But I bet you, bro, there was 1 or 2 kids that's saying like Nick Cannon's a shitty father.
Has he ever really like talked about it? Because I haven't watched his podcast. Like, has he really? Like, has anyone ever asked him how does he handle or does he see all these kids?
I'm sure. I haven't watched his podcast like that.
Yeah, I got to check it out.
I'm pretty sure they asked him, and he probably just say like, yeah, he spends times with all of them. He's going to say like the politically correct shit.
Probably.
Yeah, I've spent time with all of them. They all get love. But
maybe we could get one of his baby moms on the podcast and see get the real truth.
Yeah, he got broken, man. I feel like he was a simp from Mariah Carey. Because remember when he got her name tatted on his back?
Oh, yeah.
And since that relationship didn't work out, he just went full beast mode.
You know what Dr. Umar would say? The Snow Bunny crisis. Damn, dog. But yeah. So we got another topic we want to get into. It's a video that was going online where this mother was telling her daughter that she has to leave the house because she's dating another woman instead of men. So, in short, the mother's daughter is a lesbian. Now, there's all this big, hoopla and controversy over this. And it brings the question is, like, was the mother justified for saying that to the daughter?
Right.
Meaning the daughter is still living in the mother's household, but the mother wants her daughter to, be with a man, have a boyfriend, and have some grandkids. Because obviously two females can't have a kid unless one is adopted, surrogate kids, and all this other ways they have now, non-traditional ways of having children. Was it right for the mom to say something like that?
When I looked at that video, right, I was a little heartbroken for the kid because I feel like a lot of parents, when they have children, they're already going to probably try to shape their lives for them, saying, this is the type of school I want you to go to, or not even that. This is the type of person I want you to be. This is what age I probably want you to get married. It's and I think it's just common. It's especially if I have a boy, if I have a son, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna get you into football because I love football. I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna get you into football. I'm gonna get you into sports. But what if you say, Dad, I don't like football? Then
what if he says, Dad, I like ballerina?
You know what I mean? That's something that you have to prepare yourself for. I think when you decide to bring a child into the world, you have to be open to the possibility that they're not going to be like you and not want to do the things you want them to do. And one of those things is you have to open that your child might be gay. Mm-hmm. And you have to ask yourself, will you still love that child as your own? You know what I mean? I think you really have to have that real conversation before you bring a child into this world, because it's one thing when they're babies and you could dress them how you want to dress them and saying, oh, this is what I'm going to do. This is what we're going to do together when you get older. But once that child have their own mind, you know what I mean? It could go either way. And if you're not prepared to love that child in case they say hey, in this woman's case, my daughter is a lesbian, then I think you shouldn't have children, bro. Because
and for the record, the daughter, she's definitely maybe 30. She's an older woman.
Yeah, she's an older.
She's not a child, so she's a woman. She's probably either late 20s or early 30s, and she's still living with her mom. So, to me, is a respecting. You're still in your parents' house, but your mom isn't agreeing with the choices you're making, but she can't. I don't know. Look, she can be a lesbian if she wants, right? That's her choice. But you got to make those decisions when you're not living with your parents.
But what's she supposed to do? Just turn off her lesbianism?
No, she could still be one. I'm just saying this is more of a respecting. Like you said, parents want certain things for their kids when they are born, right? They plan out, I want him to do this, I want him to be that. They try to mold them in a way that they want. They get raised in the household, but then over time, people become their own. The child becomes their own person. The woman's an adult now, and she's a lesbian, and that's it. I mean, the mother said The mother told her, you didn't even give a man a chance. So she didn't even date a guy. She automatically just became a lesbian. The mother said, you didn't even give a man a chance, right? But you're giving women a chance. That's her choice.
That's her choice.
That's her choice. But if you still in your mom's house and your mom don't agree with what you're doing, it's time to get out of the house and go live on your own and do your own thing.
I definitely agree she should move out. Obviously, if it's troubling for your mom to just accept you, but the mom was like, yeah, not in this house. But I'm like, well, what is she doing in the house? She's just admitting she's a lesbian. It'd be one thing if she's saying, if the daughter is bringing girls in the house and sleeping with them.
We know that's going to happen.
Are we?
Come on. I bet you there's been some times where it's like, you're 16, 17 and like, you doing your thing. You got your little girlfriend in high school, whatever. And, they want to come over to the house. Your mom's like, oh, I'm going to keep an eye on y'all. Your parents being responsible, keep an eye on y'all. But like, let's say you want to do your own thing. And you want to have your own privacy, but you in your parents' house and you sneak them in or, they crawl through the back window or something like that. Like, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. I feel like gay or straight, you should respect your parents' house.
Yeah, gay or straight, respect your parents' house.
But for this case, she's saying in her house, but I'm like, all right, you're allowing your daughter to stay there as long as she's straight. But I'm just like, what else?
That's messed up, dude.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, what is she like? I'm like, how else is she disrespecting your house? Like, did she bring a woman in the house? Like, if she leaves the house and go about her business on a date somewhere, she's not disrespecting your house. She leaving the house, doing her grown ass business, and coming home by herself. And if you ask where she been and she tell you, I just went on a date with a girl. Not in my house. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what I'm saying. What is she doing to disrespect the house?
Yeah, I see your point. Because she's gay, straight, whatever the girl wants to be, it shouldn't be a problem as long as she's not disrespecting the house by physically bringing girls there. I get that. I think the mother is just salty. She's just salty. She's just salty. She wants kids. Grandkids.
She wants grandkids.
She's just salty about that.
Bro, like, I got a story for this too. But hold on, I'm gonna hold this off because I still got some shit I want to say about this. Bro, like, look, I have a daughter, bro. And I had this conversation with myself saying, like, look, I don't know how you're gonna be when you get older. Nah, I talk to her like she really know what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how you're gonna be when you get older. Obviously, your mother and I have some things we want you to do, like ballerina, piano. You know what I'm saying? That's what we want for you to do. But if you say you don't want to do ballet, it's like, all right, cool. You could just do something else. You know what I'm saying? But like, basically what I'm saying is my love trumps all. You know what I mean? I feel like you just have to love your kid no matter what. And then, bro, and your kid no matter what, they're going to make choices you don't agree with. No matter what, bro. No matter what. They're going to make choices you don't agree with. But if they're grown, you're going to have to accept it. Like, I don't know, like something even as simple as the college they pick. Like, I watched the college football videos of like when they're choosing like a university. I seen parents storm off the set because their son chose to go to Alabama instead of LSU. Or I saw this one kid say, I'm going to Florida, but the mother lives in like Louisiana. Oh, you should have went here. And you know what I mean? So the child made a choice. Don't agree with the parent, but it's like, the child is grown. He made a decision to go to school here. You gotta accept it. So there's gonna be several choices in your child's life you're not gonna agree with. But if it's not illegal, if it's something sensible, like you gotta deal with it, man. And it. I just think, and the mom is just like.
But it's a lot of things. I mean, I know we're kind of straying away from the original topic, but I mean, like, think about it. Like, there's certain things you don't want your kid to do. You don't want them to be a drug dealer. You don't want them to be a criminal or, on the streets or selling themselves or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, there's got to be some sort of the things you are willing to accept, and then there's like stuff that's off limits.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. This stuff
and
that's
like,
just really off limits.
Let's say in this scenario, instead of the girl being a lesbian, she says she wants to do OnlyFans. I mean, like, we gotta be realistic in the world that we live in now. Yeah, we gotta be realistic.
That shit is popping. This shit's popping.
This shit's popping.
On Nightcap with Shannon and Ocho, They said that OnlyFans is the #1 side hustle in America right now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So if somebody is seeing that, what they going to do? Try to hop on OnlyFans. What you do as a parent?
Well, yeah. What are you gonna do? They're 18. They're illegally able to do it. They're grown. Whatever. That's your child. They living in your house. What are you gonna tell them?
Yeah, not in my house.
Oh yeah, not in my house. But it's like that's their choice. That's what they want to do.
See, all right.
Like,
See,
let's
now,
go.
Like you said, there's going to be some shit that's completely off limits, like it's like prostitution, selling your body. It's like, hey, plus me, I'm gonna be thinking, bro, you too goddamn educated to be out here. You know what I'm saying? Going to OnlyFans. Like, that is not when you saw it, what example of that in the house you saw? You know what I'm saying? You going on this damn social media, want to follow these people? You know what I mean? Like, there got to be some shit that's off limits, but my thing is that I'm saying shit that's sensible.
Okay.
That's sensible. Like, something you can't really control in a way. Like, OnlyFans...
But would you would you kick them out your house, or like would you tell them not in my house? Like, to me, it's...
I would try to get them off of OnlyFans. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? I would be so upset, bro. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
oh man,
you see me on OnlyFans? You see your mother on OnlyFans?
I mean, like, but then again, like, she don't see you're not gay. Like, that's the thing. Like, she can see her father; he's not gay, but or the mother's not lesbian. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And she became lesbian. The same thing. Like, it's tough. And I don't know if it may seem I'm comparing apples to oranges or going from one thing to the completely next extreme. But today, the world that we live in, OnlyFans and these type of adult entertainment is a thing.
It's a thing.
Like, it is a legit thing. Girls look up to that stuff.
All right, see, now the thing about it...
And then you see mothers putting their OnlyFans name on the back of their cars.
I saw that before.
It's just like, it's a legit thing.
All right, so I see what you're saying. Like, my thing is, the way I differentiate it is like, I'm not gonna... Whoever you are as an individual, I will love you no matter whoever you are. Whoever you choose to be, like, say, for instance, I don't know, if I see my child is a good talker or, good talker growing up, and I say, oh, you should be a lawyer. I think you'd be a great lawyer. But you say, I don't want to be a lawyer. And I'm like, all right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you are just this person, like, whoever you are, I would choose to love you. But if you're making bad choices, like being on OnlyFans, it's like you have to draw the line.
Running the streets or
in
being a drug dealer.
And I think, that comes to a deeper convo. It's like, how were you raising your child as they were growing up? And, like, were you paying attention? Because why does she have OnlyFans in her head? Like, again, I know I said it on the previous podcast, like, you got to be realistic. You can't catch everything your child is doing, especially as they get older. You send them off to school. You can't control who they're talking to in the school or what they're being influenced by once they're out of your house. But I feel like you should pay attention to somewhat, to some things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, you got to be a responsible parent. You got to know what your kids are doing. You got to know, you not be a helicopter parent and like,
not be a
what's this, what's that? Getting into their personal life. Like, you got to give them space to grow and be their own person. But you got to keep an eye out on what's happening and talk to them and figure out what's going on in their minds. But yeah, I think the social media is an addicting thing.
Yeah.
And especially, I think it's more detrimental. Well, it's detrimental to both boys and girls, but I really feel it for the girls because everything is over-sexualized online.
No, for
everything. It's like body insecurities.
We're desensitized to it now,
like,
bro.
Everything is just like, goodness gracious, like the music, videos, the Cardi B's, the Sexy Reds, and the Ice Spices of the world. Like, everything is just sexualized for these, kids and young adults, and they want to do that. And that's kind of what influences them to join the OnlyFans, to sell themselves and to get
because it's everywhere.
because it's everywhere and it's normalized.
But bro, we could literally scroll on Instagram right now and see multiple women on there with bikinis.
We were just talking off air. You can't even open Instagram anymore. Like,
and you're gonna see BBLs everywhere, twerking everywhere. And the thing about it, it's just normal. Like, we'll just scroll. It's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, we're desensitized to that type of shit now, bro. And it's sad because there was a point in life where you saw a woman's body and it was like, oh, this is for my eyes only type shit. Now it's for everybody's eyes.
And we could, at this point, I mean, we could jump into this one topic I want to talk about. It's like, these men are simping hard.
Yeah.
Simping mad hard. Excuse me. Simping mad hard to make this this shit like this. Like this, I feel like we play a role into allowing women to feel like this is the thing that they need to do to gain attention, to feel love, to be praised, to feel valuable.
Correct.
Because you got guys out here flying people out left and right. You got you got dudes just meeting a girl on day one and sending them bread. You know, like that. You're conditioning, you know, a generation of
that
women.
The standard is how much money you can
give me
on a first meet basis. Like
you don't even know this person and you shelling out money. You don't even know. You don't even know if they want to be with you. Like, you don't know. And some of these girls too, they jump with not for good no good men, thinking that, oh yeah, he's got money, he's gonna do this. Oh, let me give him a baby, thinking that that's gonna keep him.
Nope.
It doesn't work that way.
Man, I saw a video once. This was a while ago about some woman content creator. I don't even know her name. My wife showed me it, and she was like, she going on a date. If she's going on a date with a man, he has to pay for transportation because she doesn't want to be picked up in a car. She's like, oh, I don't know you, and I'm not getting your car, so you have to pay for my Uber going back and forth. You have to pay for my hair and nails done because if I'm going on a date, I need to look good. So you need to like pay for my hair and nails, and I think she said a dress in there or something like that. So you got to pay for her appearance, and also she wants to choose the restaurant. So if she chooses some high class restaurant, say if the bill is $200 to $300, you have to pay for that. So now let's just say Uber $50, hair and nails. That's like what, $200 to $300 or something like that. And I'm gonna just say if she chooses a high class restaurant, that's $300. Bro, that's a lot of money just to go on a first date to see if you're interested in the girl.
All right. I got one major question for this.
Right.
So, and in general, if women think that, oh, if I'm going on a date with you, you got to send me an Uber, you got to pay for that. You got to pay for my hair and my nails to get done. You got to pay for that. You got to pay for the meal. Right? Whatever I'm eating, you gotta pay for the meal. And like you said, it's wherever I want to go. And if I need clothes, you gotta pay for the clothes. Right? Let's say it's all of those things.
Yeah.
Let's say you go on a date and she likes the guy, right? Like, is based on all those four things, the man is funding her appearance.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think she's basically telling the man, hey, I'm just an empty shell. You can do whatever the hell you want with me as long as you pay for it? Because now the relationship is based on money. If you can buy it, you can get it.
If you pay for all of those things before you even have a simple conversation with one, before y'all even go on a first date, everything is based off what you can provide for her financially.
So if he's like, yo, I want you to get surgery, is she going to do that? Like, where does it stop? Like that's what I would like to ask that girl, because that's another thing with these girls that think, oh, a man's supposed to pay for everything. No, like you're your own person. If you going on a date, you should be willing to go
this
and
is
look.
Date number one.
Yeah, and it's date number one.
Where are these standards coming from?
You're supposed to be willing to, make sure I look nice and presentable to this guy. Like, not, oh, well, you got to pay for it because you going on a date with me.
And saying, oh, you can't pick me up. So, I'm like, man, get out of here, shorty. Like, if I have a car, I'm going to pick you up for the date. Now, cool. If you don't want to get in my car, I'll walk and meet you. Like, I'm not, point is, bro, we'll take the train. But point is, like, I think a part of the dating experience is like going to the date together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I'm not about to just pay a Uber for you to come and meet me, or I could go get you myself. I would look at my man. What kind of what's shorty on, bro? But the thing about it though, also in that video, she had guys do that. She had guys do it. So that's why she was talking about it so calmly. Because she's like, well, that's a stand I have for myself because I have men in my phone that would do that now. And I'm like, see, those are the men.
That's the man that's creating this problem.
That's creating this high standard problem and thinking that every relationship has to be based off how much money you could give me off rip. Man, this woman out here saying you need to pay my rent. Bro, I bet you 2 times.
Oh my gosh, dude. And that's the problem, yo. Like they coming up with some wild expectations for people that they don't even know like that. Like, I don't know you setting all of these requirements. Even if we are together, then you demanding that I pay your rent and demanding that I pay all these things for what? I'm paying you for what?
For what?
For what? I'm paying you to be in a relationship with me? Does that make sense?
Bro, the solution I have for this, or
it's the simps, bro.
I think if you're a guy and you're single, you should be going 50-50 off rip. That's the only way you can see if a girl is actually in love with you, if they actually care about you. Because if they're willing to just, go 50-50 before y'all get married, she's actually like with you because she's down for you.
I just got a story too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Say that I was on a date and one time and this, we're sitting here and there's like another couple sitting across and, they're talking whatever. And then they're doing their thing and the bill came. Yo, these waitresses and waiters, y'all are part of the scheme too. Y'all part of the scam. They always put the bill by the guy. Like they just put it by the dude automatically. I see that shit. They don't put it in the middle. They don't say, okay, let me put it in the middle and y'all decide who's gonna take it. They give it to the guy all the time. Mm-hmm. Okay. But what struck me the most was this girl. The girl says, "Oh, can we go half? Are you okay with that?"
The girl said that?
The girl said that.
Oh, wow.
I was shocked. And he's like, oh, yeah, sure. And they went half on the bill. So I was like, that's the type of culture that should be happening. Maybe it's happening. Maybe it is happening.
But it's just these loudmouth people on social media.
Yeah, maybe these type of things are happening where girls are going half with a guy. And these idiots on social media are the ones that's, blowing it up to make it seem like, oh, a guy got to pay for everything. But I was a little bit shocked. I'm like, wow, there's actually some good people out there in the world.
Yeah. I think, you should just go 50-50 off rip. Because that's the only way you could vet to see if this girl is actually down for you. Because then, with modern women, it seems like you got to your pockets got to talk first before you even get to know them. Yeah. And then, if you say like this is the girl for me, and you marry her, and then you want to provide that traditional lifestyle, I have absolutely no problem with that, because you prove that you are the one for me, that you're willing to stick with me through thick and thin. I want to give you everything, but to expect that type of treatment before we even get married, I understand that, bro.
Like you can't want wifey privileges without even being the wife or even a girlfriend at that point. Like these girls want to skip everything and just jump to all the benefits of being the wifey. You don't get wifey treatment until you get to that level, and that takes years. You know, I don't know. They just, these girls got the wrong idea, and these guys have the wrong idea too, because they're letting these girls do this to them. Like you said, one girl she's like, I know guys on my phone that will do that right now. They've done it already. And that's the problem. Guys are doing this stupidness. And then when they get burned, like this girl don't have 5 other dudes in her phone that she could run around and go talk to and get bread and go shopping and do this and do that. Like, yo, if he's not going to do it, I'm going to go ask him. I'm going to go ask him. I'm going to go ask him. But it's not until when they get older and all that shit is gone, all that shit fade away, and you know the body's not looking like it was when you was in your 20s, and and your shit start tearing down. Now you're gonna be like this 33-year-old with 7 kids talking about, can I find a man, and start looking for love. That's too late.
That's too late.
That's too late. It's done. It's over for you.
Yeah. I just wish there was just more realistic expectations on relationships these days, and like I don't know, it's just unfortunate, man. Like I think a man has the right to feel a way if you just come up to me like, yo, I need this paid, man, I ain't gonna hold you, man. I don't run my mom friends talking. Like my mom, you know, before I moved out, I had one of her friends over. They're having a little girl talk. And where I used to live at, it was a small space. So it was like, even when I'm in my room, I can hear them talking all loud and whatever. And she's like, yeah, when I met my husband, I told him before the first date, I got 3 kids. I need my phone bill paid. I got rent to pay. And I got this and that. And he said, oh, okay, here, just take my credit card. I'm like... He gave you his credit card before y'all even went on a date?
Woo, that's some trust right there.
I'm like, it's people like you messing the game up, bro. And then I hear somebody over there like, yeah, that's a real man. I'm like, what? That's a real man? To just give you, for him to just give your credit card? I'm like, hey, do what you want with it. To support you and your 3 kids? That's what I'm saying, man. Like it's a lot of simps out there that's, you know, messing the game up for people, and because I'm telling you, she met him and she knew off rip she had to husband him up. Because if she goes to another guy,
he ain't doing that.
He ain't doing that.
He ain't doing that. No.
She knew like, oh, shoot, I need to do anything for this man since he gave me his credit card. But yeah, man, like,
shit. Wow. So this leads me into this thing. If a woman says no to a proposal,
yeah,
is the relationship over? Like, you know, I've been dating or for whatever time, and you know, he was like, yo, I gotta pop that question to shorty, yo. And he gets his friends, his family, he's out in public. You know, he sets the stage up for you and everything. You get down on one knee and you propose. And then shorty's like, no. Is the relationship over? Like, what does that guy do? Like, you know, everything was planned out and he got the hard no, and she left him. Like, what does he do?
How do you go back? I'm thinking about if I'm in that position, like, how the hell do I go back? Like, I planned this whole engagement, and, you know, I'm guessing they've been together for some years, so, like, we've been together for a couple of years. We talked about marriage previously, and we both said we would like to get married to each other one day. So now I call your family, friends, and we're in a public setting, and I'm going to pop the question, and you say no. It's like, okay, like, well, how do I come, like, how do I come back to you now? How do I just act like, okay, yeah, you said no, so we could just go back to being boyfriend and girlfriend. Now, maybe y'all might say, like, hey, maybe you should listen out to her for the reasons she said no. Maybe she's like, hey, we just don't have the funds at this time. Maybe.
I mean, you still got, like, you could propose and wait, like, 2 years.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you could propose and wait a few years.
Yeah, it don't have to be right
or
away.
Or go down to the courthouse.
You know, girls don't want to do that.
But I'm just saying that's
like they want to have the whole glitz and glam and
like,
it's the big day.
I feel like if y'all had the discussion about marriage, you know this is the person you want to marry, like you can say yes and then say like, all right, let's actually get let's save up for a few years, how long it may take for us to have the wedding we want, and they get married. But if you say no, it's like, well, I'm supposed to like propose again? Like, when am I going to propose again? A year or two? Like, I don't know. I think the relationship is over because it's the man's responsibility to get down on a knee.
But even then, like, shouldn't you know that if everything's going well, like you should know? Yeah, she's definitely not going to say no. It could have been a desperation move, like, oh man, the relationship is horrible, it's going south. Maybe I should just propose to her. She's gonna say yes, and maybe that'll fix everything. You know?
If it's that, then
because some people later in life they renew their vows because they feel like their marriage is getting boring or not enough, and they feel like they need another spark, and that could probably do it for them.
So yeah, like the thing about it, you gotta know the reason why she say no, like. It could have been a toxic relationship, a very toxic relationship. And he thinks that a ring will fix everything. Like how some people think a baby will just fix everything. Mm-hmm. Maybe the woman. True. Yeah.
They say, maybe we have a kid and it'll be all good.
Like, nope. No. Maybe the woman was smart enough to know they were going through a lot. And she like said no. Which is fine. But the relationship is just still over. Like, whatever the reason is, there is no way I can, like, go back into being in a relationship with you after that. Because, like, I don't think I'm going to ask twice. Like, when do you ask again? A year or two? Like, I'm not going to ask twice. So it's just like, all right, well, we had our run. You said no to my proposal. All right, have a good life. That's
yeah,
like
that's it. That's the breakup.
That's the breakup. How do you?
Because one thing I was thinking too is like some girls they like to have a dude fight for them and chase them down and do the most just to win their heart back again, and they don't want a man to be like weak and just give up easily because my love for you is so strong and all this other stuff. Like what if that's what she's looking for?
Bro, I ain't got time for them games. Like, I don't got time for the games. Like, that's the thing. Like, some women like to play games, and, like, a real man ain't got time for that. It's like, yeah, like, you can say you want to show effort. It's like, all right, yeah, we can show effort that, you are the woman for us. But if you're saying no to a proposal because you want me to chase you down and do all of this to prove my love, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. Some women like to play too many games, man, and like a real man with responsibilities and who got stuff going on for themselves, they ain't got time for the games. They ain't got time for that.
Damn, yeah. You're right. I wouldn't. I would take that as a clear message to myself. Like, yeah, that's a no.
Yeah, it's a no.
I mean, like, and then you face the embarrassment.
Oh my god!
But that is just like.
What do you even do?
It's like, one time I did, I was at Dallas BBQs in Brooklyn, and this guy proposed at Dallas BBQ.
Oh, that's real crazy.
I was like, what the hell's going on?
Now proposing at Dallas BBQ. It's crazy.
And the way it was is like, it was like it was cold that day. Like it was just one of the muggy, ugly days to like be out. I just went out and everybody's like, "Oh, what?" Like, man, moved the chairs, got down one knee, had Dallas BBQs. Like,
she said yes.
She said yes. She said yes. She said yes, which is good. I mean, don't embarrass the guy.
But Dallas bro, like a case for people who don't know what Dallas BBQ is. It's like
that's like proposing at Popeyes.
Yeah, like a lower tier restaurant. Like
or Applebee's.
It's like Applebee's, bro. It's like people mainly go there, like, you know, for those drinks, for the drink, because they serve like big ass drinks.
Texas-sized drinks.
And like the wings, they got like these big, humongous wings.
That's probably genetically modified.
Definitely. Food is definitely genetic. Food is definitely genetic. I remember.
Let me stop talking shit, because maybe that's what he could afford.
But that's what he could afford.
Let me stop talking shit.
Yeah, let me not talk shit. Yeah, we definitely said like, women expected money, and he did his best. Yeah, but I'm just putting out there what Dallas BBQs is. That actually is kind of, bro. The park is free.
Yeah, the park is free.
Like,
it could have been nicer things he could have done,
bro. It could have been nicer things you could have done for free. I was in a park before, and I saw a guy propose to his now wife. I'm hoping. Shit, you know, hopefully the wedding went out. They actually end up getting married. It was in a park. It was a beautiful day. Had their family come around. He had like the marry me signs. It was beautiful. Mm-hmm. That's free. But that was BBQ. There's a such thing as some laziness though. It's like, all right.
Yeah, I mean, like if you know, like if you know you don't got it, but you make major effort for a dude that don't got it, and like we understand.
I don't think that's a lot of effort in BBQs, bro.
It is not, but I
go to the park.
Bro, like the way, and when I saw it, and I was like, oh, like, you know, like I was clapping, you know, happy for the dude, obviously, you know, but then in my mind, I'm like, at BBQs though?
Bro, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's like Applebee's, like,
I think a nicer thing would have been like if he like made dinner for her at home and like
that's what
set
I'm
the
saying.
House up, you know, and then like do it that way. That would have been
you
nice.
could still invite family over. Look,
invite
there's a lot of cheaper
alternatives than Dallas BBQs. And this is at the junction, bro. like I understand if you went to a BBQs of like upstate a little bit, or like you know what I mean, a little nicer. The price is the same for the food, but a little nicer environment. But you know, up in there is kind of run down. Like
it's running down.
It's like where the location is a high traffic area, so it's like.
Could never find no
types of people. There. You got drug addicts up in there just getting some wings, being loud, and you know what I mean.
It's definitely ghetto. It's ghetto.
Being
over
ghetto
there.
in there. It's like that's not the right place to do that. You could. That's like proposing in the subway. It's like, you know. But let me stop. I ain't gonna shame the man. Shout out to him. You know, good luck to him. I hope. And this was like a few years ago. This was like 5 years ago.
Yeah, so hopefully they're married by now. And
hopefully they're married. Hopefully it's going strong, you know.
Yeah.
Good luck to him. I wish we could bring that dude on the podcast. You're like, yo,
yeah, like bro, just tell me what's going on.
Tell me what happens. Like y'all still together. But yeah, I mean,
that's crazy.
Crazy world.
That is crazy. But hey, yo, shout out to dude.
Yeah, but is there anything else you wanna bring up? You wanna talk about?
Not this moment. What time we in?
We're about hour 20.
Hour 20.
Hour 20. There's I mean, we covered a lot of stuff.
Covered a lot of stuff
Today.
I think I'm good. I could save my thoughts for another episode.
Yeah, I do have one for another episode though.
All right, so stay tuned, y'all.
Yeah, I think y'all gonna like this one too. But you know, like we always say, definitely like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Check out
Spotify.
We're on Spotify. Yep, we're on Spotify. So all the past episodes are gonna be releasing up on there. It's gonna be audio only. You guys on YouTube getting the privilege of seeing us on cam. You know.
Yeah, and you know. If anything you guys want us to talk about, put it in the comments. You know, we'll look at it and we'll give you a shout out on our next episode.
And if you haven't already, If you just found us, your YouTube algorithm popped us up in your recommended list. Definitely go and check the other videos out. You're gonna love them too.
Right.
Those are some good ass episodes. Check out the YouTube shorts. Like we said, we're on Spotify, Straight Up R&D Podcast. You guys already know what the deal is. Like, comment, subscribe. We like interactions, like D said. Give us some ideas. If you want to come out on the show, you want to be a phone guest, you can call us up.
Yep.
Come on the stream and just say your piece. Say your piece. We'll set all that up. Just hit us up in the DMs, in the comments, and let us know if you're interested. But all in all, this is Rich, and I'm signing out.
I'm D, and I'm signing out.
See you guys in the next one.
Later, y'all.